How's it going, guys? I don't know why I had that really cheesy smile on my face. But as you can tell from the title, today we're going to be designing my Xbox Design Lab controller. Obviously, these Design Lab controllers were unveiled at E3 2016, just a few weeks ago. And I actually have a funny backstory with it. So as many of you guys know, I went to E3. I went to the Fan Fest. And if you don't know about Fan Fest, it was 500, first 500 fans got to go to the press briefing and a whole bunch of different events as well. Get some really cool free stuff. Now, unfortunately, due to a bunch of things that I talked about in my previous video, I wasn't able to make it to be one of the first 500 fans. In fact, I made it right at the cutoff. But it turns out they had like 1,000 people show up. But then they said, okay, for the people who weren't chosen to be part of the 500, if you come back the next day at 2 p.m., you'll be one of the 200 overflow fans. You get to go to E3, which is awesome. It was a great make nice from Microsoft. And I thought that was awesome that they were able to do that. But I did find out a few days later that every one of the 500 fans got a free Design Lab controller, and I was super bummed out. But I was like, whatever. I got my Elite controller signed by Phil Spencer. I got to go to the press briefing, which has been a dream of mine forever. So that was cool. Turns out a few days ago from right now, I was playing Halo 5 and I saw a notification on my phone, and it was an email from the FanFest team. And they said, everyone who was in the 200 overflow fans will be getting a free Design Lab controller. They sent a little code that once you go through checkout, you just put it in, it's free. And I thought that was so awesome. So cool. I was so elated. So we're going to go through this design process and show you a bit about the Design Lab real quick here. So from the get-go, you can see there are several different options. You have 7 different things you can customize, and they give you a bunch of selected colors that you can choose from. And yeah, so you can just go through some of these and see what you can do. I kind of am dead set on what I want, so we'll do that at the end. But I was thinking of a murdered out controller. How cool would this be? Like, just all black, everything. Black thumbsticks. Black buttons. Ooh, that kind of looks cool a little bit too. I like the black and green. Black face buttons, black menu and guide. Wait, why is the body not black? It should be black. Boom. Black that. This is black as well. And then like the black back. This looks like a super stealthy like controller. Like, I don't know, it looks really cool. The only problem with this is it looks too similar to the actual Xbox controller. The only difference from this and the original controller would be the, it is, and by the way, these are the new controllers that have the textured grip and the Bluetooth built in, and the increased range. So you're getting the newest controllers. But this one I felt looked too much like the original Xbox One controller, save for these buttons, which were, the yellow, blue, green, and red. But yeah, so then I was like, maybe I can do my school colors, which is University of Maryland. So I would do like the Terps are red, and then yellow, and then kind of like, we have black, but we also have white. So maybe I make the D-pad white, and like the face buttons white as well. And that would be like the Terrapin colors. It looks kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. I think the red here is not the right kind of red, so it'd be a little weird. So, and then also if you actually did this, you could make like a Fallout. If you're in a Fallout, you can change this red to blue, and boom, that's a pretty sick control. Like if you love Fallout, then you have to get this color. I feel like this is like the perfect. Maybe change this to yellow instead, and face buttons to like gray or something, or maybe white. I feel like that's Fallout controller. Like, I feel like almost like this shade of blue and yellow were designed just so people can make Fallout controllers. Then I really gravitated though towards the gray, and I said, okay, we'll have gray here, we'll have green here, and then we'll just do like green in the back, because I think that looks cool. Green on gray looks cool, and I would just change the D-pad to gray. But I was like, that's too much of a basic controller. It looks cool, and don't get me wrong, I think it's awesome, but I would get this if I didn't come up with my design. So my design, let's go straight to my design, what I had saved. I was torn between this and this gray, these two grays, but I felt like the darker gray, even for this green controller, looks really sick. So I went with the darker gray. For the bumpers and triggers, I went orange, because that's a really poppy color, you know, like you won't see many controllers with like orange D-pads. Microsoft doesn't make controllers with colors like that. And then for the D-pad, the D-pad I did to be orange as well. Thumbsticks. Now the thumbsticks have fewer options here because you know, you don't want like a white thumbsticks and then they get sturdy and it's weird. But for the thumbsticks, I went blue. I think you can tell where I'm going with this. I did white. I was torn between the gray on white and just the black on gray, but I ultimately went with the white because I like the contrast and it matches these. Like this can't be changed, and these I kept white as well. And then I made the back blue. How sick is that? How sick is this controller? I feel like it's such a cool contrast. Blue and orange look really sick together. So this is my final design. So once you finish with your final design, you just hit save and finish. It'll then give you a preview, a bunch of pictures of your controller. And I think this controller looks cool. You can see a few of my saved ones. I shot this video before, so this is why there are a whole bunch of the same. They're just different variations. And ultimately, I had this one, and I thought that was cool too. This with the gray buttons because it blends perfectly in with the face button or with the actual body of the controller. But then I was like, oh man, the white on the gray looks really cool. And then these buttons are white as well. I wonder what it would look like though if I added. I'm gonna go back and edit. You're seeing a live breakdown because I can't come up with. There's so many choices. There's over 8 million choices that you can choose from. Like if I did that, but is that too gray? I think that looks cool too though, where it just blends in. Tough times. I think I'm gonna stick with what I have though. I can't second guess myself. Don't ever second guess yourself. That's a life lesson. Anyway, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna choose the design so that if you need to come back and just choose it, you can. So I'm gonna go with this one. And yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. I really like the gray ones. The gray one was really cool with the gray face buttons, but we're gonna stick with this one. So from here, you can add laser engraving. It gives you up to 15 characters, which is perfect. Obviously, that wasn't a coincidence because the limit for a gamer tag is 15 characters. So you can type whatever message you want in here. There are some things you can't type, obviously, or you can just type your gamer tag in here, and in order to minimize mistakes, you can just hit this button that says use your gamer tag. That way your controller is unmistakably yours forever unless you get a forced gamer tag change. If your gamer tag is against the terms of use, I wouldn't recommend putting it there because if you get your gamer tag changed, you're gonna have a controller that doesn't match your gamer tag. Anyway, so then from here, and keep in mind, as you can see the note at the bottom, due to the customized nature of the controllers, please note that non-defective product returns are not accepted. In fact, once you place your order, you cannot cancel it. So just keep that in mind once you're going through with this. But yeah, sorry, I'm just going back to these buttons. We're gonna leave it like it is. It's a free controller. I can't complain either way. I think this is a really cool design, so I'm gonna hit save and finish, and that's it. It's gonna be done. There's actually gonna give you one more preview with your gamer tag on there, and I think that looks pretty sick. So I'm gonna add it to my cart, and just like that, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done. Right? Okay, sweet. As you can see, like I said, I went through this video already, so I'm going to remove one of these because they're the same thing. But yeah, and that's it. So once you do that, you go through and you check out these controllers. Like I might have mentioned earlier, going to ship in September of 2016. So it's a little bit away, but you know what? Might as well get these in as soon as you can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go to controllers.xbox.com to design your own controllers. And yeah, I'm keep thinking that there's something else that I have to say, but I don't think there's anything else. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Love you a long time.